Greetings, everyone, and welcome to episode 33 of Custom Cat Collectors, where we're going to talk a lot about Clink, but we're also going to talk a little bit about minor league baseball and a little bit about Noble North today. So welcome aboard. And I saw Smokey comment in the chat already, and we've got John Wynn commented and Sunla Scott. So welcome, everybody. Let me flip this. Oh, no. Okay. And well, that's kind of that's because Michael's on this phone, so he's got the very vertical. So we are welcoming Michael, aka Seamus, as a panelist. So he's been on episode as the featured artist, and we're not necessarily going to ask him a bunch of questions about his stuff. We are down a couple of folks. So Jesse's doing some work on the road, and she posted a couple pictures. I don't know if she posted it on her Instagram or in the chat, but she went to a Cincinnati baseball game this weekend, and so she's having a good time. And Adam's been doing some traveling, so he's like, I'm down and out. So we were flying the missing man formation tonight, and so I reached out to Michael, and as I mentioned on the previous show, we got to meet face to face a couple weeks ago, and his youngin was with the grandparents, and so he's got a little more free time maybe than some other night. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, you want to be a panelist and just come on and comment on the art? He said, all right.
Yeah, why not?
It's good to have you.
Oh, yo.
Thanks.
What do you got in your background though? Like, I don't remember this. Did you have what's behind you on those shows?
This is my wife's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We don't have to go too deep into that then.
Yeah. No, the dogs are upstairs and anybody walks by the front door, the front window, and they're going nuts. So I went to the quiet room.
No worries. And so one of the things that I can't remember if I mentioned when we talked about this, but when we get a chance to meet, Michael has a shared interest with my husband, who both of them are big fans of Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
And if you are a Bob's Burgers fans, check out his Michael's t-shirt sales, because he's got quite a few Bob's Burgers kind of inspired t-shirt designs, and I might have to get one of those for my spouse for a Christmas gift or something, because he's
I'll actually say, instead of going through my normal shops, I would, especially with it being Pride Month, I would ask if you go to at Seamus the Skunk on my Instagram. Follow my link tree.
Okay.
That's in my bio, and the second link that's on there is a very specific link that goes to a website that I have set up. It's a t-shirt printer called crap. I forgot their name now. I'm blanking, but the important part is that I have it set up with some Bob's Burgers and some Schitt's Creek designs. And all of the commissions go directly to the It Gets Better project.
Okay.
Yep.
Right on.
Well, if you think of the name of it, let's go around the circle and we'll show off what we're wearing. And I'll go first. So last night I'm a big hockey fan, and into the Stanley Cup Finals. So I'm actually I rarely wear one of my sports hats, but tonight I'm wearing the Carolina Hurricanes, the double gale force flag, which I actually like this logo better than their what's on the center, the crest of their jersey. And I even got this. There's a company that makes kind of tank top versions. It is too hot to wear a hockey jersey in Georgia in the summer, and a lot of the year, frankly. So I got these. This is from a company called Bench Warmers. They make tank top versions of NHL teams, and I'm a big hockey fan, and so. While I very much miss not having an NHL team at Atlanta, I am enjoying the Sun Belt dominance of the Stanley Cup championship. Having dealt with many cranky, not very nice Winnipeggers who came on our message boards and were kind of jerks to us. But I'm like, there you go. Sun Belt kept telling me like hockey can't work in Atlanta. I'm like, well, it's funny how it works in Carolina and Dallas and Las Vegas and Tampa, Florida.
Right.
I don't think it's the temperature that was the problem in Atlanta.
No,
it was ownership.
Yeah.
I'll get off my soapbox. Glenn, we'll go clockwise. What you sporting tonight?
I believe it's the Claw. Sorry
Machine.
about all that.
Mhm.
Claw Machine,
Yeah.
Lane and Aurelian. This is the Fitted Fanatic recolor. I love this recolor.
Yeah.
That was a good grab, dude. That's a nice one.
And
Yeah.
also the white sweatband. It's super
Mhm.
cozy, super soft. Love
Yeah.
it.
Do you notice? I'll be honest. I never think about the comfort of the sweatband. Do you notice a difference from one country to another?
With this one, I actually did when I put it on.
White.
The only thing I don't like is you can totally see it.
Yeah.
White's
It's a lot
there's
more
something
noticeable.
there's something about the material that white sweatbands tend to be a little silkier, a little smoother. They're
Yep.
just not rough.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know what it is, but
All right.
there's
I'll pay
something
more
different.
attention. I always joke that I never see the undervisor. I guess I'll have to pay more attention to the color of the sweatband now too. What you got there, Aaron?
Rocking Day Drinkers today from Creaturezoid and Soundwave Threads. Just felt like the right time of year to send this out, and so it's been on my head for a couple of days.
Nice. All right, now, Michael, what you got?
So I've got one of my older ones, Mallard Lake, and it was kind of a hard fight to get the metallic green thread for the outline. Really like that one. That one got a recolor with the copper pack, but also for Minor League Monday, dug out the Vegas 51s. And this one, Aaron had a hand in with Leon designing this for Pro Image Sports. Very, very
Thank you,
cool.
sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I had no idea that you did that, Aaron. Have you done any other like sports related?
I did. I'm pretty sure it was a 3-pack that I did with Leon. So I did an Astros hat in that pack along with the 51s, and then of course I did an A's hat at the time as well. I did the Cascading A's logo, and I actually have a couple of other licensed hats. So I did one, like the very first one I ever did was with Crown Minded, and that was Washington Nationals that I did. One of my favorite hats. I'll dig it out one of these days and bring it on to show you guys. And then there was something else, and it's escaping me right now. I know there was something else, but the Nationals hat was the real special one. That was the first of the few that I got to do. Thank you.
Well, one of the things we ought to do as a future show topic is take clinks and have people pick out a clink or two where they think the recolor is actually they like better than the original. Because I mean, sometimes people will be like, "Oh, I wish I had the original version of this particular clink hat," but there's clearly other recolors. I mean, I could name 5 where I like the recolor better than the first version. So it is one of those funny things where sometimes a hat will come out, and there was one case where I didn't get it. And I was kind of like, oh, I wish I'd gotten that hat. And then the recolor came out, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because this recolor is so good. So
I like this one the best out of the other ones.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it. Was it that one or the flip that was in the Trick or Treat pack? That was the purple crown and mostly white.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's actually an easy find, because just look back at any of the tropical themed logos, and more than likely I have it in my collection in a fresh colorway, but not in the original, because the fresh colorways are just too wild for me. I can't do it.
I have the original banana hammocks.
Right. That comes to
with
mind.
The bright rose brim.
Yes, exactly. Banana hammocks comes to mind. Tropos comes to mind.
Yeah.
There's a few that come to mind that I've got fresh colorways for, and that's the only way that they're in my collection, because I just couldn't do the original.
I actually had to track down the banana hammocks, and I only did because I had just designed a shirt for Friends, and I made a reference to when Phoebe changed her name to Princess Consuela Banana Hammock. So it's like, all right, I got to get the hat too.
We got some designer folks in the chat, so just want to give a shout out. So Rusty, is in the chat, and Trish, who had her first ever hat for the vote today in Critz. So congratulations to her.
Did you get picked up?
Soundwaves
Wait on that.
No, this is our second time.
Is it the second? Okay.
Yeah, this is a resub.
I'm sorry. I can't remember all the time.
Yeah.
So, the longer I go, the more I'm sort of like, it's a little bit fuzzy sometimes. What I remember. All right, so let's see. Let's see which the best alignment. So we've got 4 of us, so we could do that, or we could do. I think that's a little. Oh, yeah, Michael's a little more centered because you're like the tall. So let's do that. We actually have a lot of Clink news. I started putting the slides together. I didn't really think there was that much, but once I started putting the slides, I'm like, holy cow, there's actually a lot of stuff. So we had the shock drop that came out this week. Anybody grab this particular one?
I did.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, Aaron.
I waited until virtual though. I didn't get it on the shock drop night. My virtual ended up being just a dragon fest. So
understood. The Aloha one is the one I'm wanting.
Yep.
So I may do a virtual at the end of the month just to make sure I get it, because originally I thought, well, I'm going to be out there in August and it'll still be there, but Taylor's like,
right.
It's like it might not be there in August, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But we got a rollout, and so these are all photographs that Taylor posted in Buy Sell Trade. So probably a bunch of y'all have already seen these, but for myself, I had I had 2 of these already in the original colorway, and so for me personally, I the neon takeout, I preferred the first colorway, but I could see how if you were more of a green tone, you might like it better. And I think the lower right one. This colorway looks radically different from the first one. I mean, I think sometimes changing up the colors, you read it quite differently. Any thoughts about these?
I actually had a virtual last night. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We're stepping all over each other. Those are it's another example of me with titles that I didn't grab, as OGs, so I didn't have Mysterious or so Klepto is the one on the top left. I'm forgetting the one on the top right. But those 3 I didn't have in my collection previously, so added those with virtual.
Yeah, I had my virtual last night and I grabbed the neon takeout. I have the OG, but I really want to see that matcha green.
That matcha material, yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
that's the one you wanted, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes that's just a deciding factor for me is more research. I like to have those things in hand so I can when I'm doing a mock-up, so I know what it's actually going to look like in hand, because those swatches are not great on the computer screen.
All 4 of
computer
these.
Screen. Sorry.
All 4 of these, and the last one too. The one Matt's holding up now. I like the recolor on all of these better.
See, now I absolutely love this one. I'm going to make it big for a second. So I just love the gold. It's, lighting here isn't great for it, but the gold and the red, it's just a really strong, but I like red. So if you don't like that much red, it's a lot of red.
It is a lot of red, and I'm a Georgia Tech fan and a Georgia Bulldog hater, so I hate red. I am programmed, even though I'm wearing a red shirt that matched the hat, but I'm programmed to hate that much red.
I just remembered the top right is heaters.
That's right. Yeah,
that's what that one is.
Yeah, that one's really good.
It's a really nice recolor.
It's a really good recolor. Yeah, I was a little turned off of it at first because I didn't understand the point of the total camo on the brim. But the more that I looked, the more, and Taylor was wearing it, when I did the virtual, and so of course it's just in my face the whole time. It's like, all right, fine, show me that again. Let's go ahead and add it.
All right, throw it in.
Right.
I remember the very first virtual I did with him, and he held one hat up and he's like, "Oh, this is a banger." And I wasn't going to get it. And then I was like, maybe I should be getting this one. And I was like, we'll put it in the maybe pile because he was just like, he was selling it. And I don't think he was like, just trying to get me to buy it. I think he just genuinely loved the particular hat. And I was like, well, if Taylor likes it that much, maybe I should.
It's like the passive aggressive salesman.
Taylor likes some crazy shit though sometimes, so it's understandable to be wary.
He likes a couple of things, and I'm like, dude, really? He'll be like, oh, this is great, and I'm like, I'm not so sure about that.
But, but that goes with the person. He can pull off things that we can't. So,
yeah, just different. Let's go to Michael. So, what do you think about that?
The A-frames? I feel like such a chump.
Why?
So, well, as I said, I had my virtual last night, and okay, so the VHS, is it Sunset or Sunrise? I can't remember.
Sunset.
The VHS one.
VHS Sunset. Yeah.
Okay, that is a crazy colorway, but it is really distinct. And it turns out it's the City Connect for the Padres.
For San Diego,
that was the idea behind that one. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this thing, and I stopped wearing snapbacks like, I don't know, 10 years ago because my big fat head, I'm always on the last one, and it wears really fast and it breaks. But I never tried a 950 crown either. So I said, well, I needed a third hat anyway, because I'm not going to pay shipping on ever.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, give me the damn thing. I didn't realize that it's $50.
That's pricey for a snap. That's for sure.
Yeah, for a snap, that's pretty high. So I do feel a little bit like a chump. But it is going to get a lot of clinks in a lot of people's hands that wouldn't normally do it. So, the good with the bad.
It's going to be good for people with kids who like clinks as well, because they'll be able to grow into them too a lot better.
Yeah. I'm already having to do that for my son. His first probably dozen. He can't even get on his head now.
Yeah.
Oh.
And for female buyers that have a ponytail or long hair, they can fit it through. And so I do think it grows the audience. And one of the things that I've kind of joked about for those of us like who have been buying clinks for years, if this thing ever blows up and becomes like much more popular or becomes a little bit more mainstream, if you have some of those old clinks, they're going to be worth something if this thing ever really goes big, because some of these early hats, there's only like 30 of them in the world, in that colorway. Now, if it goes big, then Casey's probably going to color every hat 30 different directions. But if you want the OG, there's only ever going to be one OG. So if you got it, you got it, so.
So on all the, I don't know if they showed it on the ads, but on the back, instead of the regular Kong logo, the little back hit, it just has embroidered clink room right over the curve of the back of the hat.
Oh, cool.
I'm imagining it looking like a hockey jersey where the names are curved, like the Detroit Red Wings do that. The letters aren't in a square; they like actually arch over the top of the back. That could be pretty cool.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but I mean, I'm really, I like the fact that there's some great art on these hats, and if more people, there's some people who are never going to wear fitted. One of my hockey teammates, like she's a jersey freak, and she's always buying different hockey jerseys, and she sees my hats and she comments on them, but she's like, because it just doesn't fit my head. I don't like. She's like, I've tried a few fitteds, they're just not for me. And so for her, it's a stopper of the fact that it's not available. So I sent her that, and I'm like, hey, you might want to take another look in the future. So we got one of the hats that was not up for a vote. I don't think this was up for a vote, but this dropped on Friday. So this is kind of a reference to the Pencil C. Did this excite anybody on the panel?
It did me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm grabbing that for sure.
Okay. I dig
that a lot.
I love the colorway. It's like it's a bunch of colors, but it's not too many colors. It's like right at the right amount. Like you got the black on the back side. You got the I think it's a yellow button. You can't see it here. No, it's a what? I
It should
can't
be
remember.
varsity purple.
Yeah. And then you got the UV that matches the pencil, and people like me that wear 8s that I just have conceded that I'm never gonna own like a quarter of all the old clinks that I want. So it's a cool way to have the pencil logo just a little bit differently with the updated version of it, basically.
Yep. I probably won't get it only because I am I grew up in Phoenix, and Phoenix is very anti-LA. Anytime one of the sports teams come up against each other, like the whole city is chanting "Beat LA." So the Lakers colors really turned me off, but it is a really good logo.
It's funny, as a Midwesterner, I didn't even think of it as Lakers colors, I
No.
mean, but I totally get that. As a Detroit fan, like, we hated all things Chicago. And so,
Yeah.
For years, like, I would pretend like Michael Jordan wasn't the greatest player. I'd be like, well, he's got flaws, It's like, okay, whatever, eventually I just had to give in and be like, okay, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're like, who sticks his tongue out when he dunks? That's so stupid.
Well, for the longest time, it was like, well, he wins all these scoring championships, but he hasn't won a championship. And then he won like 6 out of 7. So well, there goes that criticism. So
I was actually just thinking about that last night with the Knicks winning. How long had it been? 53, 57 years?
Yeah,
one of the two.
73. I was 3 years old the last time the Knicks won. Yeah,
Ewing would have had a championship.
Yes,
somewhere in there if it hadn't been for Jordan and the Bulls.
I agree. All right, it's time to cue the David Bowie changes. So I have a lot of thoughts about this one.
You have some feelings about it.
So last year at the end of 2025, I put together a personal list of, like, I went through every single Critz in 2025, and I pulled out like 30 designs that did not go to the shop that I personally liked. And then we did a show where we talked about, we each picked some, and then we went through and ranked them. But this was one of the hats that I wish had gone to the shop. And so I was a champion of it, along with Raindrop, which hint, you may see in the shop on Friday, unofficially. We'll see. But so this one I was a champion of, and so I was super happy, and I saw it voted, and it got over 40%. Was thrilled. I wanted to buy this hat, and then what showed up on the Thursday I hated. So right now I'm not going to pre-order. To me, the original was fun. I love the rail. The simple line for the mouth looked like something you would see in one of those ice cream cones where the color goes through into the body of the ice cream. And I like the sparkle. I just saw somebody hated the sparkle in buy-sell trade. I like the little sparkle even. I love the lavender. I like the art. And then what came out, we lost the ears. The stick got shorter. It became a toothy, scary popsicle. Like, all the fun to me went out. So I'm very unhappy. And I complained publicly for the first time ever. Aaron's gotten out the pitchfork before. I got out my pitchfork for the first time. I was not as successful at Aaron. They did not go back. So apparently I'm way less of a hat influencer than Aaron is.
Aaron,
I really think the only thing that they could have done to the original to really improve it would have been to take the eyes and give them a little more 3D, a little lift, like the gumball eyes you get from the ice cream man. But otherwise, it didn't need to be touched.
All right.
And for the record, Matt, I don't always go with the pitchfork. I go for engagement, to rally the troops. I don't go with anger. I go with, hey, what do you guys think? Be on my side. So, I know you guys. We talked about this hat a lot in the chat, and I'm not quite as disappointed as you guys, but I totally understand where you're coming from. I definitely agree with the mouth. I think the mouth, you nailed it, Matt, with your description about it being, like reminding you of an ice cream or a popsicle, in that sense. And I totally get that. The ears, I don't even care, about the ears because, I feel like if you're going for a Kong anyway, those ears make it look like a chimp more than it looks like a Kong, but again, though, I get the fun. I get the aspect of what you're going for. So I totally see it. I don't see myself not buying this hat, but I could probably talk myself out of it a lot easier than the shop or the Critz version, excuse me. But I still like it. And plus, I've been banging the drum for Emil for quite some time, so I want to support anything that he gets in the shop when as long as it really appeals to me, and this is one that I can get behind still. I just wish they would have found a way to keep the lavender and maybe make the UV lavender instead of whatever color they chose there. I can't quite tell if that's purple or not, but I think they should have been able to keep the lavender in there. That would have been a good connection, to the original.
See, I could forgive it, all those changes, if the colorway stayed the same. I could forgive the rest of it. But like chrome or what beige or whatever the hell that is, like
it's chrome.
Chrome and black, like it just, to me, it doesn't work with the rest of it. Like it makes no sense in my head.
Yeah, somebody made that comment. I'm trying to scroll back up about including black on one of the changes. Where is it? And I think it's true here. Like, I don't think the black adds anything. It doesn't echo anything in the art itself,
right.
And it doesn't really go with black and lavender. I mean, those. Oh, it was Pat Moriarty was saying that about one of the other earlier changes. Which one was that? Yeah,
I think it was that one
here that he's like, and I could see that. I mean, like if they went with like a dark purple, that would at least echo in the design.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing here, if they're worried about, the Cheeto finger problem, they could have gone with a dark purple here. But anyways, all right. That's just one. So we got a couple, and this is a pretty minor change. So I'll just say up front, but so we got the change in the hat. That's the thing that really jumped out here. We went from the K to the clink, and I'm assuming this is potentially heading off IP problems.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And that was the sole reason for it.
And the UV changed, which I actually think the UV change in my mind is a positive here. What do other people think?
Yeah, I dig it too.
I'm always behind a gray UV, so I'm only slightly disappointed, but I don't dislike either one. I think they're good either way.
Since it looks like they added the purple outline to it too, so I think the purple UV does good with it. Yeah,
that's good. That's a good point.
With the original design, I think actually a pink UV might have echoed some of that lighter tones in the original artwork, but
it seems like Clink is allergic to a peach UV, and I really like a peach UV on gray hats. It looks really sharp. Have yet to see one come through yet.
Right, it always gets changed.
Yeah,
that's an interesting point.
We should set up a counter that counts off like how many hats has it been since there was a peach UV, and just like see if we can taunt Casey into making one. He'd be like, okay, fine, you guys. And then this one, which we did not talk about, but the changes are significant. Any opinions?
It is what it is. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one.
I thought Win came back when I saw this one.
There you go.
I mean, I think the are better, but go ahead.
I have kind of a point about this that I mentioned before the show that I'll get to when we're going over the selections from this week. It kind of applies here too.
Yeah. All right. Well, coming attractions.
Yeah.
All right, so stepping out of the Clink world for a minute, our friends to the north, Noble North, have brought out a couple of hats recently, and I can't remember if I know we talked about the is it the otter or the
Yes,
beaver?
the otter.
I know I
Yeah,
couldn't.
we talked about the otter. It's otter. Yeah,
The otter like sold like hotcakes.
yeah, it
I
did.
missed out. I thought, well, I could wait, and I was wrong. Now,
Same.
I'm guessing
Same.
they'll bring it back in another colorway because they tend to do that. So, knock on wood,
Mhm.
maybe they will. But and then we've got the beaver. I've got this on a brown crown that they did a while back. This beaver with the C, and then we've got the script hat, Noble North, and then we've got the fighting maple leaf, which I have to say I kind of like the red leaf on the white or the cream crown. That's got my eye. But you know, as a hockey fan, I got a surprising number of maple leafs in my collection. So
Jesse's got the red one, and it looks good.
yeah.
Yep.
All right.
They do really good work.
Yeah, I like the beaver hat. I considered it, but I'm not. You know, I'm with Terra still going and everything. I'm not just buying one. You know, I want to make it worth my while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a Lego friend in Canada that I ship everything to up there, so that eventually we will meet in person and we'll be like, "Hey, here's your box of hats."
You've been saying that for a while. You must have a lot of hats now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
No, seriously, we had a conversation on our last Lego chat after we went off the air, and I was like, I might just drive up at Christmas just to come get my box of hats. And I'm like,
Right.
if you need to consolidate the 5 boxes into one box, I'm fine with that. And he's like, well, it's not taking up too much room in my living room at this point, but maybe.
Ooh. Then Matt becomes a smuggler.
Look, trust me, when I go for a Lego convention, when you cross the border, I mean, my vehicle is full of Lego. I mean, like to the ceiling when I was up there for the Lego convention last year, which was a week
Right.
before US Thanksgiving. And the customs agent is like, are you selling this? And I'm like, no, I'm exhibiting, which was kind of a lie because I did bring a few things to sell. But, you know, wink, wink, nod, nod. So we've had lots to talk about, and there's been some hilarious and fun minor league baseball. And if folks don't know, I mean, what we think of as Clink got started doing minor league promo work. The Brandios did all kinds of stuff, and if you watch, there's some videos out there where Casey talks about them getting started, and I can practically guarantee that at least some of these that we're going to throw up are in fact Brandios designs. And so just some fun ones that were teased out in the last month or two. Snipe Hunters and Augusta, which is near Glenn and I here in Georgia. It's the James Brown's from there. So there's the connection to soul music. And so they've got the soul, and then there's an Ice-T. I can't remember which team this is with the Ice-T hat. And then one of them's got the instead of the bat boy, the bat dog that's going to run out and pick up the bat. Any of these grab your attention?
I'm definitely getting the Augusta Soul, but I love the Green Jackets and everything they do.
Cool.
These,
go ahead.
I would say these just didn't do anything for me. I've noticed a lot of the theme night ones that have come out this year, which these are a part of, seem to be getting really close to some Clink designs lately.
Mhm.
Trying to remember which. There was some team that had a T-Rex skull that was very similar to Josh's Exhumed King.
Yes.
It's just like I already got it, so I'm not gonna buy it again just to have the MILB Batterman on the back.
We got a note here from the other Matt, my namesake. He says, my wife wanted me to boast that she successfully campaigned Noble North for a fresh colorway of one of their designs. So
Which one?
I don't know. Maybe he'll answer that in the chat. So this one here with the dog carrying the baseball bat reminded me a lot of Branch Manager, which is a recent Clink hat as well. It's not exactly the same, but there's enough differences. But certainly in style, there's a lot of similarities. And then of course we also had the Clink, which was the T cup in the kind of the old mug.
Bueno Biscuits had it, yeah.
Yep. And so there's some
Yep.
similarities there as well. I agree with you. There's definitely some overlap. So
Yeah.
those are hats, and then here's some jersey wear. This is the tree huggers on the left, which I thought was pretty funny. It's hard to tell in the picture, but the pants are wood grain, and so
okay.
the pants are like tree rings, but they're going like down instead of around, which I thought that was kind of clever. And being in Georgia, where the humidity is been extremely high, we had a pretty nice late spring, early summer, and I came back from being out west where it was very arid and dry. And I jokingly said that this weather is like a hate crime that I committed on myself. By coming back east, it is so humid you could cut the air with a knife. And so there's these swamp ass.
The swamp ass, yeah.
Which it turns out I googled this. This is the second time there has been a minor league baseball that went with the swamp ass promotion. So it's not the very first one, but the shorts are hilarious. Yeah. And then we got the jersey with the snipe hunt where there's the bag with the mysterious snipes, I guess, in there, or something's in that bag. But I like the stars. It's a nice looking jersey. I'm wondering if that's a Clink artist that maybe did that work. And then Niagara. So this is, I think it's Wellington, which is a town just north of the Niagara Falls, Wellington, Ontario, and then the Niagara Longcocks, which is getting kind of edgy. So it's kind of funny to me because minor league baseball really sells itself as family entertainment, but apparently they're not afraid to go right up to the line on some of these little jokes. So I don't know. I think it's funny. I have a sense of humor of a 13-year-old, so I'm laughing at it. But,
Hey, they made the oyster catchers last year.
yes, they did.
Yeah, so
Did that come out and like
yeah,
get made?
Yes.
yeah.
Wow.
A couple in it, and it's actually just had a re-release. I think it was Anthem. It's either Anthem or crap. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Somebody just dropped it again.
And
That's crazy because I feel like if it was a Clink design, it wouldn't go through.
Oh, it wouldn't have. No,
No.
that one and the Gold Diggers, both of them got pulled like as soon as they hit the minor league baseball official store. But the other like toppers and some of the other secondary stores, they kept on going. Yeah, that one right there.
It's a gorgeous hat. It's got metallic gold threads. I mean, it's beautiful. And of course, the Gold Diggers, the historic Gold Diggers, were real hardworking gentlemen out there in the mountains. But unfortunately, when it dropped, the team ran this promo that very clearly implied that the Gold Diggers were ladies, and that got a lot of blowback.
You don't say.
That got it pulled. So, if they had just stuck with the dudes up in the hills chunking away, they probably could have kept selling the Gold Diggers for a long time, but they had to go there. So that was not strategic on their part. But well, that's like Flanagan's Commando one that I want to buy.
I really do.
Casey has never put it into Critz for a vote. I'm guessing that's because he thinks it won't go through. But like, I would absolutely buy that Going Commando because I think it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
It looks like a minor league baseball theme night.
Yeah.
Maybe Flanagan should pitch it to a team. Like whoever did the swamp ass over here, they might go for the Commando. No.
Right.
I can't remember which team did the swamp. I know it's their second theme night from the Snot Otters.
Yeah, and the Snot Otters is kind of gross too when you really think about it. But
yeah,
wasn't it Flanagan that had that badass swamp ass design with the donkey in the swamp?
Very vaguely remember.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah,
you do or don't?
I don't.
There's like a hint of it in the back of my brain.
So. Yeah,
I'll have to track that down. I think
I'll message Flanagan and tell him he ought to pitch it to the Fayetteville, North Carolina, because they've got a bunch of like veteran. There's a major military base. I'll bet the Going Commando would sell at that ballpark.
It probably would, and they are not afraid to go there because they're usually the woodpeckers, and they have an amazing kind of theme night retro. It looks like the retro Astros, the from the 80s with the just the horizontal lines, but they're the Peckers.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Zach said I was right. It was Flanagan. He had a swamp ass design. I don't know. Charlie, seriously. I don't know. I don't know what happened with it. If it made it, or like it got pulled, or like it never went to Critz, or what happened. I can't remember.
Oh,
But I really liked it.
we got a comment. Drinking Nature says, my buddy Jason, the 29th, did the Soul.
Oh,
All right. Well, tell
Very
him
cool.
that Glenn and I are fans, being a Georgia located, and definitely it's on my wish list. So I might have. Does he have an Instagram? Jason, I don't know. Is that his name? Jason the 29th? I'll have to do a search on that. So
Jessie has the hat already. She likes it. It looks good. She wore it for
Yeah. I remember she wore it last week.
like
I feel like
swapping
right?
out hats for a little period of
Mhm.
time.
all right. And now's when we. You got anything cool in the mail? Anybody got some hats they want to talk about?
I got
I
something.
mean, last week we all had Clinkmas where we got our pre-orders. All right, I'll make it big. There you go.
I was fortunate. So myself and Eric and Adam had been paying close attention to a collector that we were aware of who was going to start unloading some hats. And turns out that the Great Liquidation was more of a letdown than anything else. But he did put out a few good hats on eBay. And Adam scooped this up in a 3/4, and thankfully Eric bowed out of it, which put me in line for it, and I was able to get my first 1.0 cork bottom added to the collection.
nice.
Woo!
with the inside tags and everything. This is number 129, I think, of 150.
Sweet.
Yeah, 129 of 150.
Nice.
And it's in pristine condition. It's a really, really great condition. And
I love the pencil.
I'm just super excited to finally have. Yes, the pencil head is really cool, but I'm just really excited to finally have a 1.0 in my collection and have it be a cork bottom. So super excited about this.
Hell yeah.
Really, really stoked. And so, Adam comes through again, and this time I got to be on the receiving end, and I was excited. So definitely worthwhile.
Can you remind us so they obviously not all the 1.0s were cork bottom. Are those the numbered ones were corks? Is that?
I believe so. Yes. Can't remember for certain, but I believe that is the case. That because definitely not all of the 1.0s were cork bottom. There was only a small group of them, but I got fortunate to add one of these, and super stoked. It's in, like I said, it's in great shape. I was a little nervous about what the cork would be, what condition that's going to be like in such an old hat, but this hat's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Quick,
and it's the Bowling Green blind shrimp for those of you that are curious.
which ended up being the Jacksonville, didn't it? The Jacksonville jumbo shrimp.
No, they changed to. I've got it here on the post. The blind cave shrimp became. Man, what is it?
And it's got some similarities to the mud bugs, but it's crayfish.
Yeah, I thought I had it, but I don't have it right in front of me. But it definitely became. It wasn't the Jacksonville, but it became something else.
Yeah.
But they use this as a theme night. So Bowling Green still uses this. They just use it as a theme night.
Cool. Quick side note.
Cool.
And I don't know if I'm supposed to share this or not, but it's not a key detail I heard. The 1.0 reprints that are going to be coming soonish, those are all going to be contrast stitched.
Ooh.
Yep.
Well, you hear to hear, folks. There's 1.0s coming. Hint, hint. Save your money, because you're gonna want to buy multiples of some of these.
Yep. I don't know when. The last I heard was summer. But
it may not be that far off. May
yeah.
not be that far off. Well, I mean, we're kind of almost the summer already. It's
yeah.
June.
Exactly.
It's not summer now.
This also just arrived too. Just got this when we were at the grand opening. They were giving away T-shirts, but they ran out of them. So they took a mailing list and said, "We'll get more made up and send them to you."
Sweet.
So
that's cool.
Now,
it's got a cool.
Is that speckled? Does it come pre-cat haired?
It's like it's like
Pre-cat haired.
It's like acid washed. It looks like it looks like acid washed jeans or something. But
Glenn,
it's treated somehow.
Glenn and I can wear it, and the people won't even know that there's cat hair on it. It's great.
Exactly. Yes. This will be great for you guys. Yeah,
dude.
This one I can only hope to wear sometime soon. You want to see what I look like as a sausage? I'll put it on right now. Otherwise, I might pass out. So I'll hold off on that.
So speaking of double entendres, there's a line. One of my favorite movies is No Country for Old Men, and there's a line where the character, suspecting that someone is following him, and he says, "I'm going to go upstairs, and I want you to tell me if any swinging dick comes in this place." Well, got the swinging cocks as a hat. They don't call it that, but like every time I see this hat, I giggle. My inner 13-year-old is like laughing, like they got a swinging cock hat. Like, how in the world did that get past New Era? It's freaking hilarious. But anyway, so I'm sporting it today. All right, who else has anything for mail call?
What you got, Mike?
I'm sure Mike's got something. I'm sure.
Yeah, I have a Blackhawks hat that arrived today, but I left it upstairs. Hat Club has had a new sea glass pack last week, and I've been trying to use the sea glass colored thread in designs for 4 years now, and I have yet to get one approved that I actually had that one in there. So again, I had to have it so I could see the color in the end. So it's a really nice hat, but it's upstairs. And then the other one was a Topper's Drop that was the Blackhawks. It was a very short run. I don't remember the name of the pack that they did for it, but it's the C with the feathers hanging right from it. But the C is in the same font as the numbers.
Just the feathers, so you don't get the whole native chief look. It's just the feathers that are towards.
It's just the C, which isn't usually there, and it's different than the C with the tomahawks.
Yeah,
I think it was called the distraction pack or diversion pack, something like that.
Deception, I think. Deceptor.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Berdine's had one where they also used the 3 feathers, but it was a little bit different. But
I have that one. That's a red crown.
Yeah, it's a sharp hat, and as a Red Wings fan, I was like, but it's like it's a beautiful hat, but I'm like, it's the Blackhawks. I'm like, I'm so torn. It's like art versus team loyalty. I mean, if 25-year-old me knew how many Blackhawk hats are on this, 25-year-old me would cringe because I hated the Blackhawks and Jeremy Roenick and Ed Belfour back in the day. So
yeah, back and forth. I actually own one Red Wings hat, and that's pretty close to 50 or 55 Blackhawk hats now.
Yeah. Glenn, you have any?
Yeah, I got a couple handy. No clinks, but still very cool. Got this new one today.
Ooh,
nice.
Mr. Pack. Atlanta.
Yeah. And then I got this minor league hat. This was actually a pre-order. And it just came in. I pre-ordered this months ago, but I can't remember exactly when.
That's really cool.
The Supper Clubbers.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that.
It's a Beloit Skycarp alt identity.
Yep.
Yeah, they have some good stuff. Put the first one back up for a second, if you would. So for folks that don't know, so we've got a local designer, and I think his Instagram is something like Korean Atlanta or something. It's something Korean. He's a Korean American gentleman, and his hats are actually for sale in a shop that's like 12 minutes from my house. So I have yet to meet him, but one of these days I messaged him and I'm like, hey, we should go to a minor league baseball game together sometime because he seems like
He's
That's
everywhere
actu-
right now. Yeah,
That's
he's,
actually
he's
not-
everywhere right now. He's even gotten like a drop coming at Pro Society Shop.
Yep.
So
That's
he's,
actually
he's
not
really,
one of
he's killing
his.
it.
no.
Oh, that's not.
No, that's from Hat Heaven.
Mm.
Okay.
But
I
I
also-
did buy one from him earlier today.
I got a couple, also some minor league hats myself. There's a longtime fitted collector who used to be in Montreal and he moved to Switzerland, and he's AL99, and he's been gradually selling off a bunch of his hats, and I keep buying 4 at a time, and he ships them from Switzerland, and he's super nice. And he always includes like some Swiss chocolate in every single box, which
Nice.
I love my chocolates. So, apparently his spouse works at the factory. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe he gets a good price or something, but I don't care. Like, I don't have Swiss chocolates, they just show up my door. So, but he's been clearing off some of his things, and I've gotten a couple Hat Club Hockey League hats from him, which are something I'm really looking for. But this is a box literally came today, and this was in there. So this is just a beautiful taco. And so these hats are like in mint condition. So it's pretty clear he never wore this. And I don't even remember which minor league team had this, but just fantastic. The stitching, the color. And
Cool.
I think this is at least, like 5 or 6 years old, because most of the stuff in his collection is from like late 2010s or early 2020s. And then again, I don't know I need to look up which team this came from, but this is Christmas.
Ah.
And look at this
Holy crap.
brim. So it's a nutcracker, and it's IE, and I don't remember.
Inland Empire.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
Inland Empire.
Yeah.
that's it. And at first, I wasn't even sure it was minor league, but then I saw the back hit, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's an MILB hat. So super excited. This is going to go up with my my holiday season hats, and so I don't really understand the wrenches in there, but I'm assuming there's a story or something with the wrenches.
I'm trying to remember what their normal mascot is for Inland Empire. Does it have something to do with the railway?
Yeah. Oh, well, there's a San Bernardino, and they have a train, but they do a lot of alts in Empire. So
Yeah.
And then these other two are very recent. So Hat Club had a sale, and so this was brand spanking new, and I'm pretty sure this is a clink. This to me looks like maybe a Jason B type kind of thing, but they've had the rubber ducks before, but this one has like a textured kind of stitching here. It's really beautiful in hand. And so when it was either Hat Club or Fanatics, I forget which, they had a pretty good sale going on. So I got this one. And then the other one I got in the sale was
Right, Matt. Yeah, I'm not laughing at you.
okay. I absolutely love these new Copa brands, and they just
You got
that's
that
cool.
one.
The Chihuahuas.
That's
Yeah,
really
that was
cool.
a good one. Yeah.
And this is like a tribal dance mask costume that natives both on the Mexico and the U.S. side of the border will wear. I had to look it up because I didn't really know exactly what I was looking at, but the colors are beautiful. I mean, there's like purples and blues and yellows, and I mean, to me, it looks like they've got more than 6, 7 colors. I know Clink Artists got a cap on how many colors, but this sure looks like they broke the rules on the number of colors. This is just absolutely gorgeous. And then they've got about 6 or 8 of these with them. And so each embroidered brim has different colors. And so this is
Arkansas Travelers.
is it?
That's nice.
Yeah. So this is the kind of just absolutely gorgeous. And so big fan. And then this I've actually had for a while, but I wanted to show it off for the brim. So Major League Baseball had the Mexico City game. And it was between the San Diego Padres and the Diamondbacks. So they each have the team's logo on that little circle. But check out the brim here. I'm getting a lot of shine, but it's got that kind of
Oh yeah.
and just really cool. I mean, this is a work of art,
Yeah.
which is
I
good.
thought it was just contrast stitching until it focused in.
It's enormous on me. So it was the last size they had left. By the time I saw it, I'm like, oh, I really want the one with both warriors in it, because they still had like the single warrior editions, but But I wanted the double warrior, so there you go.
That's pretty awesome. I could have swore I heard New Era was not doing the duo hats anymore, where they had individual mascot or individual logos on each panel.
Yeah, well,
they did that's pretty cool.
And I don't know if it's just because it was those two teams were, facing off of the Mexico City game, but yeah, it's very generous. It's resting on my ears. All right. Anybody else? Are we good?
We're good.
That's
All right,
it.
so let's do some Critz chat, and I'll take a look. I haven't looked at the chat in a few minutes, but and so I've changed up the display a little bit. I realized that I think it actually would make sense for us to make the hat bigger, and so I sort of redid it. And traditionally, I put two hats on at a time, so I'm just doing one hat at a time. But we can actually see the artwork a little bit better, and since we're here to talk about the artwork, I think that made more sense. And so obviously, we'll go through the slides a little bit quicker. This was the one that got the love from all four of our panelists. So the day of the Critz, I'll ask people to nominate about 5 hats to discuss, except for Glenn. He always nominates 7. But so we'll go through and this was the one that all of us nominated, not necessarily knowing what other people were picking. And so this is Jason Valenti. And if you're not aware, Jason Valenti, check out his Instagram page, because he does a whole bunch of these like minor league stuff. And so he does both. I'm almost certain he's like a subcontractor artist for Brandios, because he does so many of those.
He's done at least half of all the theme nights for Brandios.
That man's a logo beast.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the nicest guy too.
Is he?
That's what I hear.
Yeah, I was very fortunate. I really wanted to do a Frenchie hat a while ago, and it didn't do well in Critz, but went back and forth with him for about a week, working on a Frenchie with the steel trap for the lower jaw.
Oh
he was
that.
really easy to work with. It's tough working with another artist usually, because you always have very different visions of it, and he. Although he was direct, and he gave me very clear instructions of what he thought it would be. It wasn't, you need to do this and this is what, and it was just, this is what will work. All right. So yeah, he was a lot of fun to work with.
Maybe we can get him on the show someday, because I've just looked at his Instagram and clicked back through, and the way he shows it, he zooms in on the logo. So if you're familiar, I pay a lot of attention to these minor league hats. And so I kind of go, oh, well, that's that and that's that. But just scrolling through, I'm like, oh, that's his. Oh, that one's his. I mean, it's just, it's like a murderer's row of awesome MILB designs. And so he's still doing a little stuff with us clinkers over here too. So my only thing was like, this is going to get shrunk down. Like, it's not going to be that big on the hat. But I love the fact that we've got the tattoo in the arm. It's another critter we've never had. I always like it when we get a new critter. My only thought was like, maybe, well, I mean, look, I'm criticizing Jason Valenti, but maybe not so much of the background. I mean, I think just the monk seal and the flower itself would make for a great look, but I'll probably buy this. What do y'all think?
Without even a thought. And that brim gives me anxiety already without even touching it. So, I mean, it's that good, I mean, right. It's that good. And I remember we talked about this last week when it first went up on his Insta, and I was drawn in immediately. It's a lot of color in there. I mean, there's a significant amount of color, and I kind of wonder if maybe we might, if it stays a rail, I wonder if we see maybe that undervisor change to gray or something neutral, But as it is, I mean, if it came just like that, I'd be thrilled. I think it's great.
Yeah. The only question that I had was I don't know why the tattoo doesn't go to the edge of the arm.
Edge of the arm, yeah.
Yeah, it cuts up, and I can see this because there's a line of shading there, but
Right.
Which one was more important, to have the shading or just complete the tattoo?
Sure. Right.
But yeah, no question, I'll be rocking that.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
I love the little
Yeah.
hibiscus there on the side. I hope that stays as is, because I think that's an incredible feature. Reminds me of my mom a lot, and it's just it's a beautiful hat. It's well done. It's just well drawn, and it's fun. It checks a lot of boxes. It really
Yeah.
does.
When people say, it's so cliche, but when people say this hat is a whole vibe, like this one literally
It's true.
is.
Yeah, for real.
This one can you can say that about this one. Like
Yeah.
everything about it I love. Like the expression of the seal, um the way he's presented, all the colors. I freaking love bold colorways like this. Um I love everything about it. Like, like Aaron said, it checks a lot of boxes.
Mm.
It if it did come out this way, you know, later on down the road, it would be a great candidate for a fresh colorway. It's a great design, would look good in numerous colors.
The only thing is, I'm going to need to go out and find myself a Hawaiian shirt in pastel colors just to pull the whole look off. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because you've asked me several times, after I'd made the Hawaiian local hat with the nene. I didn't grow up in Hawaii. I was a little kid. My dad was stationed in Oahu for a couple of years, but my folks still have the family portrait where all of us are wearing that exact nasty orange, with it's just a orange shirt with white hibiscus everywhere. They still have that photo up. Yeah.
there we go. And speaking of hibiscus in minor leagues, and I don't know if maybe this was a Jason V, but this was the Harrisburg Senators, which is about as far from a Hawaiian luau as I can imagine, having been to Harrisburg a couple times. But they ran this as a summer theme night hat, and it's just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous colors. And I got it. I think the last summer was the first year they had it, and I was afraid like it would be a one-off. Now I think it sold well enough that they've brought it back.
Aaron's got that one too.
Yeah, but mine's got a blue brim.
Oh,
it's more Cheeto
I like
safe.
that. Yeah, yes, for sure.
yeah, I love that hat.
All right, well, this got universal love, so let's go to our next one. And this one was also pretty nominated by 3 of the 4 of us. So I'll throw to you, Michael. What'd you like about this one?
I do always like the American traditional style. And Neil is, Aaron's already said it, and everybody brings it up. He's a very underappreciated artist that has taken a while for the general public to kind of understand his design. And if you aren't familiar with his history, he did a lot of shirts beforehand, but if I'm not mistaken, most of his artwork he was designing for woodblock.
Right.
So
Yep.
the big solid lines, big open areas. I've said it a bunch of times. Casey and the digitizers really know what to do with big areas of color, but it never really hit me how well they do with that. With when Guerrilla Radio came, and they had blocked it so well that it looks like he's furry in just a solid panel. It was just amazing. So I can see them doing some really neat, intricate work.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
There we go.
There he is.
He's back. Matt's taking all his bandwidth trying to find another hat.
Yeah.
I have Gorilla Radio, but I can't remember, did I put it in the Gorilla section or did I put it in the throwback like 80s
or in the radio section?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, you got comments on this one?
Just I just
so he can walk off.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly, right. So you can still go find the hat. I think it's just a beautiful hat. You know, I mean, we all know that that Neil and Flanny are both super skilled artists, and to see them get together to put something out like this is a lot of fun. I don't necessarily know that this is for sure my style, but I really love the way it looks. You know, I think that the colors are bold and bright, and it just brings a lot of attention to it. And I think it's one that will look really, really good embroidered.
It would look like a great tattoo as well.
Sure, yeah, without a doubt.
Obviously,
it also just makes me think of like kind of again, I don't know the art terminology here, but like just Asian motifs where there's kind of a double layer. I like the fact that you could just see it at a glance and you just see the moth, and then you come back and you're like, oh wait, there's a face in there. Like I like that. So
yeah,
it kind of rewards closer inspection. Now, what do we want to wager that this does not stay on this crown color if it goes to the shop? I'm wagering a lot. I'm just going to say up front.
You're probably right, but I really would prefer that it stays the way that it does, because the contrast is just right. Right now, it's balanced and it makes sense. And I just feel like putting it on a different color crown is going to really change things, and it might make it look kind of funky. I think that this light background is just the right contrast that allows all the details to do the work. The embroidery, this is one of those examples where the embroidery is really going to do the work.
Yes.
What did they say that was? Like rose or something? Rose gold or
that is either the blush or it's
that was it. That was it.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, I think they said that
if it is blush,
Taylor,
that's going to change.
I think they said Taylor suggested the that colorway.
I originally I thought it was the new lightest kind of neutral color. It's called the candied pecan. But I think you're right. I think that is supposed to be the blush, and that's going to change because it's in hand. That is very light pink.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that definitely changes my impression. Because I
have
that if
some
it really read that,
Charlotte
I don't know
Knights.
that I'd like it as much.
Yeah.
So I can share. Neil said that it did get a contract. So
it did,
and he also said, "I really hope it stays on the blush crown." So sorry, Neil. I don't like your odds. I'm with you, but
right.
Now, Michael, so you said it's very light in hand. If we waved a magic wand and you were charged, would you make it like a slightly darker pink, knowing that the blush is extremely light? I mean, would you recommend going with maybe a slightly pinkier crown color?
I'll be very honest. If I was to actually pick the colorway for this one, I would actually go a very different direction.
Okay.
Only because I've recently seen the next recolor pack that's going to be coming next week. That's it's an Aurelian feature. Very, very cool. And there's a hat that's on a graphite crown with a maroon brim. And that aqua works with maroon really, really well.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. So it would definitely change kind of the vibe of the design with the graphite crown, because it's going to make it an overall, darker appearance. But I think it would go with all those colors really well.
All right. Well, no, it's good to hear. I like hearing that perspective, because that's something I wouldn't have known. So
I'm not against the blush at all. It just as a sales standpoint, it's gonna shy some people away.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I like having a wide variety of colors in my collection, but not everybody has a lot of hats. So I mean, sometimes people only have 12, and they don't want a color that's hard to match or whatever. So I get that. Aaron.
So where are my Wes Anderson fans? because this absolutely screams the fantastic Mr. Fox.
Mr. Fox,
You know?
yeah.
100%. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh man, that is speaking to me. I love it for that purpose, that reason. It just totally brought back the fun feelings that I had with that movie, and I'm a big fan of Wes Anderson, and I think this just, this hat's perfect, in that sense. And I really hope that assuming it did get a contract, I want to see it just as is. I love the way it looks. I love the silhouette. I love the colors. It all works, and it made me think of something that I was nostalgic for, even though that movie.
Uh-oh.
I lost you there for a sec.
Yeah, he's frozen. All right, well, I'll jump in. So I also picked this one. I reached out to the artist, and it did get a contract, but I think it's a Q contract, so it's not necessarily going to be Friday. But I have a huge care about the silhouette. Now that Fox is going to get shrunk down a little bit on the actual hat, so it's not going to be quite as big, but it's going to read great. It's going to read from a distance, and the way they're going to stitch that, because there's big blocks of color, it's going to stitch well. And I can just imagine this white that's in the lower part of the face, like it's going to almost look fluffy, I think, when it gets stitched.
Yep.
I'm super excited to see what the finished product on this looks like. Yeah, Aaron, you cut out about halfway through.
Yeah.
So.
Totally fine. Yeah, you guys didn't miss nothing. Just I'm just really looking forward to it. I think it's going to look great. I think it's a I say things are fun a lot, but this really just like makes me happy, and
Sure.
Because that movie made me happy, and I just really enjoyed the character, and the look it's just right. I hear George Clooney's voice in my head already. Just looking at it. So
Funny.
So for Christmas, my spouse gifted me the Wes Anderson box set, and it comes with his first 12 movies, both the theatrical release and
awesome.
the director commentary. So we've been going through them in sequence, and then he doesn't really care about the director commentary, but to me, that's the cool part. Like, I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
And we're going through and we're watching like the first 2 or 3 movies, and they're all like, well, that's my like high school gym teacher in the background. It's they're like casting all these like just friends because they weren't big and famous yet, and then what's his name? Owen Wilson with the crooked nose one was like, well, I was just going to be a writer, but we needed someone to act and we couldn't find one. So I ended up being in movies, and he ends up having this whole career as an actor, but he was intending to be a writer, which is kind of hilarious. But I guess it just goes to show that you can't always plan things in life. So
Right.
it worked out all right for him. So yeah, Aaron, if you ever come out to Atlanta, he's like, come on over and we'll throw in some Wes Anderson.
Yeah, we'll just get a marathon going.
Oh, it's great. Those are great movies. All right, let's toss to Glenn. Glenn hasn't had a piece. What do you think?
This one's awesome. I like the black and white movie feel to it from was it 1939 Kong, I want to say. The only thing that it's not that I don't like about it, but it kind of, I don't know, it's kind of off-putting to me. And this is random, but
It's the antenna, isn't it?
yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, wait, where's the antenna?
Uh-huh. As soon as you said off-putting, I was like, where's the peak of that thing?
Because in the King Kong movie, wasn't there? He was swinging on it, right?
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I didn't add this list to my picks just because it was so obvious this one was going to go through. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they just need the engagement, so I get why they put them in there.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, it'd be like, just don't waste the spot. Put this one straight through.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think might change is the biplanes. That one on the left, only because it's the wings are so small, and to go line space line, they're probably gonna have to drop that one. So maybe drop 2 of them and then make the other 2 bigger.
Mm.
Normally, it's a running joke in our chat that I have the scale of concern about fine detail stitching, and I would normally be expressing concern, but I don't know. I love pretty much everything Ryan Simmons does, so it's like I'm less concerned with Ryan's stuff. Usually,
And this is one too that I just really hope that it stays intact colorway wise, because that's part of the whole package. You know, the grayscale is what makes it, and I don't want to see any of that change for that reason.
Yeah, I can see him putting a green UV on
right.
this.
Yeah, right.
Let's make it purple.
It would make no sense. Right. It would make no sense.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say to Michael's comment about just put it in is it's kind of fun to see a hat get 50%. And there were 2 this week. I mean, I don't know what the numbers at the end of the day, but there was another one that was right there at 50%. And I think we had one earlier. So I think we've had three hats that voted 50% in the entire year so far. And we're almost halfway through. So it's pretty rare, but obviously lots of people like this. And that's a pretty big endorsement. When I typically at the end of the day, I'll take like, here are the top 6 voting. And when I saw that we had 2 that were at 50%, I was like, holy cow, that just never happens. It's super rare.
Damn it, Glenn. Now I can think is, where is that antenna?
Yeah.
We should cut that and just send that to Ryan as a video clip, and he'll be like, nitpicking my designs.
Right.
All right. What do we got next? Yeah, Aaron and Glenn. Thrice. Who wants to go first?
Glenn?
You go ahead, Aaron. I went first on the last one.
There's obvious reasons why, we're supporting this design here. Obviously with 2 of our fellow panelists being a part of this design. But I really, really love the execution on this, how they came up with an element that represented each one of the different hockey teams that this is representing. So for those of you that don't know, this is representing the 3 gold medals won by the Olympic Paralympics team, the men's hockey team, women's hockey team, correct?
Correct.
That right? And I think that the way that they put this together really, really just hit the mark. And I saw what it looked like. I think that Zach had put out a time lapse on this one, and I remember watching this, and it really started significantly different. But what it ended up, I think, is a really just it's a poignant illustration to really honor these 3 teams, and I think it's neat. Is it very niche? Yeah, I mean, you've got to be a hockey fan, period, to really appreciate this. But I think it's a little bit more than hockey. I think it's about the difficulty of accomplishing this feat. And it's not that these 3 teams set out to do that, but that's just what happened, and it's a unique and different situation that you probably don't get too many opportunities to see. So I think it's neat to commemorate it in such a way that really brings all the elements together the right way.
Agreed. I think Zach executed it very well. The only thought that I had on it was just might want to change the shine on the helmet. Every time the first look at that I see on it, I see a maple leaf.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I can see that too.
It's just a first glance, but I see it every time.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I really like this one. It was really special. Obviously because, like Aaron said, it's a couple of our fellow panelists here, and as well as Zach. I'm a huge Soundwave Threads fan. But it's really cool that they brought together all 3 elements, with the mask being representative of the women and the Paralympics, and then the men's with the stick. The only thing that I would change, me and Matt talked about it earlier, I would maybe put all three medals together, kind of like in a little row, like the person's wearing all three of them,
Oh.
just to clean it up a little bit. If it didn't make it, I don't know if it did or not. If it didn't make it, then maybe change that. And like Mike said, the shine on the helmet, it does give a little maple leaf vibes when you first glance at it. But I love this design. I definitely voted for it. And I really see it get made. I totally had a brain fart train of thought, so that's why I'm kind of struggling to get through that.
So
Yeah, that's a good point, though, and it would actually really make sense to have all the medals in a row, because during the Olympics, when the athletes are going on camera, they wear them all in a row for all the ones that they've earned. Yeah,
right. Very true.
I already messaged Zach about this, but my reservation for it is that I think the silhouette's very cluttered, and I care a lot about that as a hat buyer. And I've encouraged him, if he doesn't go through, put the medals together at the bottom, because the crossed items are a strong silhouette, but when you got the things hanging down, now it's like it's kind of messy. And there's no reason with crossed hockey sticks that should, or the Paralympic, like that should be a nice clean symbol, but you're sort of muddling it up. And I would actually take off most of the shine off of the helmet. Like just let the helmet be. Let that be mostly, or maybe do two-tone red. I don't know if they're bumping up against the color max, but do two tones red. Take out that white glare. And then the helmet's got a nice strong block, and you've got the cross sticks, and then you've got the medals hanging off below. Personally, like, I'm a huge hockey fan. I've been playing hockey for 35 years, but for me personally as a buyer, I'm like, it's kind of cluttered. I'd just love to see this cleaned up a little bit more. And then I would be like, yes, that's it. That's it. You're there. But I think it could use a little bit of editing personally, again, I love the subject. So this isn't meant as a hate,
I've never looked that closely at the sleds. That the first kind of skid that's under that, is that usually a blade, or is it just kind of it looks almost like it's just a piece of pipe?
So with the front, I've never been on one, but with the front, if it were a blade, it would be hard to turn left or right. So I think they intentionally leave that kind of dull, so you can swing the front of your sled to the left and right, and it's not locked in. Whereas the back runners, the weight of the person's going to be on it. So if you're going forward in a line, it's going to keep you going, and you'll have to move the front, and the runners will keep going in that direction. I would guess that maybe you'd leave that dull on purpose so that you could swing in either direction.
Oh, I mean, the perspective on the footrest is a little funky on there, but I think it's essential to get it to work. If you actually did it, accurate isn't necessarily the right word for it, but if you made it more true to life, it just wouldn't be as clear as what it is.
Yeah.
All right. And I didn't reach out. I don't think I asked Soundwave if they got a contract or not. It's, there were so many that voted at 37-40% that it would be a tough week. So. This was our other 50%. So Aaron and Glenn, tell us about it.
I mean,
it's another solid effort from Zach. I mean, what can you say? He's on fire. He's been on fire. He just keeps putting out great designs, and Weeple is a friend of mine, and he's a good guy, and he is just recently converted to Clink. And I shouldn't say converted, because he's still heavily into Major League Baseball hats, but he's just finally seen the light, with Clink, and he went to the grand opening, and I think that's when he really really saw it, because he's a friend of Taylor's. They're friends because he lives in LA, and that's how I ended up going to the grand opening. But I think that the grand opening really made a big impression on him, and he's very, very much into clinks now. And I think he was before, but I don't think he felt it the same way that we do, you know. And I think he's obviously taken a big step, and Clink was on his mind because he went back home and got in touch with Zach and came up with this cool design. I really like the way it looks. I think it's really cool. I think that Zach came up with a really good cave rendition that it's one of those things where when you look away from it, you can not see the Kong for a minute. And then when you go back to it, between being just a cave and being a Kong, if you will. And I really dig it a lot. So I was surprised to see it vote so well, but I think that's awesome. You know, I think that's fantastic that it did do that well. So oddly enough, though, it only got a Q contract. It's not going straight to the shop. So I thought that was weird. You know, it's one of the strongest vote getters today. And you know, it's not going straight to the shop. So Zach did mention in the comments that you know, it seems like there's kind of been quite a bit of Kongs lately, so maybe they just want to space it out a little bit, which certainly makes sense. So hopefully it won't be too long before we see it in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Zach is, like you said, Zach's on fire. This is like the year of Zach, man. He's just crushing it lately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like killer design after killer design. Like, I mean, we rarely see stuff vote 50%. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
But I mean, it's deserved so. So I mean, but the Q contract's kind of baffling. But yeah, I guess with a lot of Kongs, there are a lot of Kongs right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, they seem to be selling, so why not?
Kongs be selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've really come around on Zach. I remember he first started submitting while we were still running the MEC show, the Monday Evening Critz.
Yeah.
And initially, he had some execution issues, and it wasn't indicative of his talent as an artist. It was a matter of learning how to use the software and change from being an illustrator, you know, drawing on paper to drawing on in a digital media. And it is a hard change. And I wasn't, just being honest, I didn't think he was going to be able to make that change, but he figured it out. And like you said, Glenn, it's been his year. He's killing it.
Yep.
The one thing that this design reminded me of, and let me be clear. Oh, that's the wrong button. It echoes a little bit this hat, which I own and love, and this one's called Fallen Titan. Now they're clearly different, so I'm definitely not implying that this is a copycat, but this would be it's kind of a family resemblance in the sense that it's, you know, something that's combining with the earthen or kind of a, you know, feature architectural shaping of the earth. Sure. And I think it's a cool design. Speaking of the concave, and I would be very, very tempted to order this if it whenever it shows up in the shop. So I like it. I'm curious to see. I'm guessing, you know, with the stitching that like the white fang part would be raised, so it kind of sticks out from the rest of the hat. I mean, this strikes me as a hat that could have some of that sort of interesting depth when it comes to the production.
Sure.
I could see them. I hope not, but I can see them incorporating some kind of camo with this one, like with the UV or something.
Yeah.
All right, Glenn, keep on going.
This one was fun. I am a big fan of the piranha hat that Rafael did. I'm still trying to get that one in an 8. So if anybody's got one, hit me up. But since I can't get that one, I voted for this one. I like this one a lot. It's very reminiscent of the piranha hat that he did. Colorway is fun. UV looks like, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I want that guy. But yeah, it got my vote. And I meant to say this at the beginning when we started the Critz talks, but I just wanted to say that these are not the ones we pick are not necessarily the only ones we voted ready
Yeah.
for shop for.
Yeah.
These are just the
Right.
ones that we decided to pick to talk about on the show. There's other hats that we didn't put up here that we voted for, or we didn't vote for. But
Yeah.
the ones that we pick are not the only limited ones that we voted for. I just wanted to say that.
Good point.
That's a great
Yeah.
point. Yeah, very good point.
I think I voted for 12 of 20 hats this week.
It was a solid week.
I mean, there were a ton of. I would be poor if all the hats I voted for went to the shop. So I mean, there were a lot of designs I liked. So I mean, it was a strong week, and as he said, like I as the person who puts the slide together, sometimes I switch my vote just because I want to make sure a hat gets talked about. And so there are a couple hats on here that I very much liked, but I didn't nominate because I wanted to get one or two hats in to the conversation. So again, if you're like, I can't believe, Matt didn't like my hat. I
Yeah.
probably.
Right.
I will say this is one of the few from Rafael that I aren't my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, it's executed well, is drawn really well, and there's some good motion to it. I think it's the drips. They're going the wrong direction. They're leading the fish, and it just sits weird with me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess I just granted it more artistic license. I'm like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
The fish was jumping, but
it's just sometimes these things just hit me weird, and
Yeah.
I can't even necessarily quantify what the issue is, but this one just didn't resonate with me. But there's a lot of his other stuff that I'm a big fan of.
Again, why did I nominate? So one thing I think this could, so it's hard to tell, but the piranhas actually definitely has that sort of 3D element with the stitching. It's hard to capture on the second, but it's thick. So if I turn it here, you can see just how thick it looks, like a stitched on patch, but it's not. And I can easily imagine if they gave it that kind of treatment, that this barracuda would just really stand out against the crown.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact, again, that we're getting a creature that I don't think we've ever gotten. And I'm pretty sure we haven't gotten a barracuda. And when I think about minor league hats, there's a ton of sharks and there's a ton of medusas and squids and a couple dolphins, but I don't, barracudas is just not something we get. There is the minor league AHL barracuda, but honestly, I don't think the barracuda on that team is that great. I mean,
it's not. They tried to make it look like the San Jose Sharks, and it didn't really pull off.
Yeah, it's not. So I think this would be a great representation of a creature we've never had before. And I personally, there's a story here. So when I was like 6.5, 7, I'm very old, but my parents took me to the drive-in movie theater in Arkansas, where Michael lives. We went to some drive-in, and in the olden days, they would have like a PG-13. Well, they didn't have PG-13 in those days, but PG movie that was like Disney or for kids, and the kids were supposed to fall asleep in the car, and then like the more adult-oriented movie would be the second of the double feature. Well, I saw that lady get eaten at the beginning of Jaws, and I could not go to sleep until I knew that shark was DEA dead. And I was terrified of sharks. We lived in freshwater Arkansas, but I refused to get in the lake that summer. And they're like, come on in, there's no sharks. And, and so I was like, I actually probably had some kind of childhood PTSD over watching Jaws. And so we go down, I'm 12, we go down to Florida where my aunt lives in Key West. And we go snorkeling, and I'm terrified that some shark's going to come up and bite my leg off. And so I'm hyperventilating the water. My dad's like, calm down. He's like, look, if I see a shark, I'm going to tap you and then we'll go to the boat. And so that was enough to get me to just chill out. And we get done snorkeling, and we're hanging out with my aunt and uncle, and my aunt and my dad's talking about how stressed I was. And my aunt says, well, it wasn't the sharks he should have worried about. It was the barracuda with all their teeth. And I was like, oh my God, there's another man-eating fish in the water. And my 12-year-old brain was like, I didn't even know I was supposed to be worried about the barracuda,
Yeah.
So I would buy this hat just for that reason. So, all right. This is a mat. So this is one that I love this. I've never seen a sandcastle hat. Minor league baseball, clink. I personally would probably take away the circle and just have like the castle and make the wave like a darker color, maybe to get a little more contrast. It's something original. It's something summery, fun. If I were to rework this, I would pick a lighter blue, kind of like a sky blue. You're out at the beach, maybe. But I like the concept. And I think if you took away the circle, the silhouette of this, castle would really look sharp against it. The only thing I would say is that, as a kid, I would never try to build a sandcastle with a bridge. So maybe that's a little too ambitious. Maybe make it look a little bit more like a kid's sandcastle. What do y'all think about that?
I actually almost picked this as one to talk about, and Farster has been trying to has had several that have hit crits, and they just haven't seemed to resonate. Again, I think they're a talented artist. I've looked at their just their profile and looked over stuff that they've worked on before. I think they're a talented artist, but they don't seem to. It's just kind of the artist in me, not trying to be critical, but it's very flat. There's a lot of opportunity to add depth into the castle itself, but trying to cram in the clouds and the waves and all the stuff in the background that doesn't have to be there really limited them on space and colors to be able to add more shading or some highlights. So there is opportunity there.
Yeah, if they were listening, would you make the turrets like more rounded so they look like they come out? Like when you talk about giving it a little more depth, or just take away all that stuff in the back, you think that would give it more depth?
Definitely get rid of the circle. And if you go with a lighter blue crown, then you don't have to do the sky at all. You can just add some clouds in there. I don't.
See,
it's a question of being able to execute it is really what it boils down to. It might be too difficult in this medium to a 3D object that's this geometric is really hard to pull off. So I don't know necessarily how I would do it myself.
Okay. You're acknowledging that it's a challenging thing.
Mm-hmm.
Glenn?
I feel like Zach already tried this.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that, but you're right. I voted for that. I like that. I think, again, there's too much going on. Like, I think if it were edited down just a bit more, although I really like the shoreline there. I mean, I think that's well done.
See, the difference though is that one is the beach days. It's the whole scene instead of just trying to be just the sandcastle.
Yeah.
So Zach's is a whole scene, and yes, it's busy, but it ties all together.
It's telling you a story, a full story. Yeah. Zach, you should run that again because I would definitely vote for that. I don't know what it did the first time, but it's a good design. I like that. And again, we haven't had sandcastles. I guess I should have mixed these up a little bit more. And I voted for this. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't think Paige watches the show, but like, I'm so happy that Paige came back and is doing art. He does some cool stuff. I think this is hilarious. Like mixing up the Venus flytrap with the baseball glove. I would buy this if it went to the shop. So, it's in the mid 30s. So it's not like it didn't, it's not, it's getting close to that 39%. We had one of these when I was a kid, and I was utterly fascinated as like a teenager by the fact that, there's a carnivorous plant. I thought it was really cool. I like this. It's got a pretty good silhouette, and from a distance, you might not see that it's a baseball glove until you looked at the ball and you went, oh yeah, that's a ball going in there. But I'm a fan. other thoughts from folks?
I love this colorway. It's simple, and I'm not usually big on the monos, but it is the same colorway as the original 60s Ruby Throat, and that's
Mm.
Good point.
it's sometimes it's my favorite. It's my second favorite clean cat.
Wow.
It's a surprisingly easy wear.
Okay. All right. And Drinking Nature also loves it. He's like, he's a fan. All right.
I miss Page Perception's bird designs. He had some of the most clever hooks. He had some of the most clever hooks for those birds. The one that comes to mind instantly is the Taylor bird. I think that the way he did that with with the measuring tape, on the around the neck and everything, I thought that was so good. Those are the designs that I love from Page Perception so much.
I'm still perturbed that the what was it, the hooded oriole or the hooded warbler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
That one.
still
Yes. Yep.
perturbed that didn't make it.
Yeah, I agree.
Did he do the painted perch?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one of the things I've been meaning to do is with the how should I phrase it? With the absence of wind hats, other people are getting in the shop that didn't before because wind was taking one spot every week. And in particular, Soundwaves had a really strong year, 2026, getting hats in the shop. But I'm also just happy to see a few artists come back. I don't know if we're going to get Phil Hauser to come back and submit some more, but certainly Paige is submitting, and that makes me happy. Always makes me happy to see great art that we get to choose from. It makes for some brutal weeks where there's some good designs going up against some great designs, and that makes it hard for folks to get in the shop. But I'd rather see them lose to another human artist than a non-human artist, frankly. So this one's a little bit of a tease. So as anyone who's watched this knows, Glenn is Josh's number one fan. And when he sent in his 7 nominations, I was like, you skipped the Vulse. I'm like, what? Now, in fairness, Glenn sent his in before he saw the other panelists. And so maybe if Glenn was strategic like me, he would have dropped one and gotten Josh in. So I'm giving you a bonus here. Give Josh some love. Because I'm 50-50 on Vulse. Like I have some Vulse hats right here that I love, and I have some others that I'm not so crazy about. But I like the silhouette on this a lot. So
yeah,
it's a fun one. Plague Rats, I'm in. I like the silhouette of the rat. He's mean. He's fierce. He's bringing death with him. So the sickle, the scythe makes sense. Like he's bringing death with the plague. It's just fun design. And I did accidentally leave Josh off, but he knows it's no shade. He knows I'm a fanboy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be messaging you, be like, dude,
right?
Son of a bitch.
I want to share one more thing, and I meant to do this, but I'd made all the slides and I realized I left this out. And one of the things that just blew me away in the last week or so is former Clink artist Mike Siak. He went on to bigger and better things. He's the artistic head for New Era Mexico and did some just gorgeous Lunar New Year hats this year that had my mouth watering. And he came out with a line of hats that all use, I'm going to say it wrong, Lucha or Luca? Lucha masks, and they are around the World Cup, some of the World Cup teams. And here we've got the Mexico colored hat and the Japan one. I want the Japan one, so I may have to reach out to the Hat Ninja and like ship it from Mexico to Japan and the Japan to the United States because I need this hat. Like it is amazing. It's just gorgeous. And I'll show you a couple of others. Let me
That's genius. I didn't realize that they were doing that. That's really clever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let me scroll now because you can see like here's a close up of the Mexico one. I mean,
nice.
You can see the 3D, the 3-dimensional stitching on that. The red emerges from the hat, and here's the whole collection. So you've got all 8. And
are those all 950s?
I don't No.
I think they're all snaps.
Yeah, I think you're right. But this is the one. No, so
that's a 59.
That's a fitted. Yeah, you can see the 1/4. So I posted a question. I was like, "Is there any way we can order these to the States?" Because man, that is a sharp looking hat. I love the rail on this because you get that hint of the green around the edge,
Yeah.
and it just brings out the green in the mask. It's just a fantastic piece of art.
I wonder if some are 5950s and some are 940s or whatever.
That picture, they're all A-frames.
Yeah, it could be they have them in both. And the
Yeah.
Argentina one's good too. I mean, look at the Argentina in the lower left. That's a sharp one. So just great to see a Clink alumnus going on and doing some great stuff. And always like to highlight artistry. All right. And then looking ahead. So we've got I put this one up just because it go back, computer. This one did clear 40%, and I'm guessing it's going to go to the shop. So Design with Jake, and he's had a couple of hats. I think he's had one go to the shop, but he's had a couple that were pretty close. And we've had some killer whale hats over the years, but this is like the most jovial killer whale I think I've ever seen. It's really looking to party and having a good time. I mean, maybe he just ate a bunch of seals, and so he's feeling good about himself. But it's
get bath toy.
It is.
It's like a squeaky chew toy.
It's a good one. Yeah. But I think it's a good piece of art. I like it.
Yeah.
And then looking ahead to Sunday, so we got our deadline coming up. Computer, there we go. So closing out, and I'm probably going to get the yarn weasel or yarn ferret. And I just think it's clever. It's something we've never quite seen before. I am curious how it will stitch, but I'm just going to trust Casey. If he modded this a lot, and I'm assuming Casey did it with the belief that he can make this look great on a hat. So I'm very curious, and I'm probably going to pre-order this one before the week's out. Anyone else see some hat? There's 5. One of them's missing. This is from the Clink. So Clink dropped one out. I don't know.
I'll still never understand why they do these graphics that only have 5 of the 6. Like, if I was the 6th one, I would be pissed.
And Ryan Simmons,
I actually went from planning on getting the inner strength to dropping it from my list. Just it was another one of those that they made some art changes that I questioned whether it was necessary, and I think it really changed a big portion of it. They went from it being a ferret to being more of a dragon. Yeah.
That's fair.
I love dragon hats, but this one really spoke to me as a ferret.
The missing one is Milosh Warrior Spirit.
Oh, that's going
to do well. It's going to do well regardless. So
oh yeah.
And I think the chrome one's really interesting, but my weariness of skulls was going to keep me from ordering that. And I'm assuming, Aaron, that you ordered the Maverick. Is that fair?
I did, yes. And I'm probably going to be ordering the dragon ferret, whatever you want to call it. I always forget the name, but I probably will still end up ordering that.
The yarn dragon.
Yes.
See, I would have bought the chrome one if it wasn't wrenches. The cross things.
Okay.
Because I am not a gearhead or efficient with cars of any type. Like, so I would just feel stupid wearing a gearhead, basically a gearhead hat, you know?
Yeah. Same.
But I love the look of it, and I love the colorway, and the visor matches the shine on the skull. But if it was something other than wrenches, I might have bought it.
And I would point out that 4 of the 6 of these are the top row in the pre-order, so they're selling well.
Oh yeah.
The Warrior Spirit, the Warrior by Simmons, and Marlin, the Ace Kong, and the Fired Up. That's the top row, so they're doing well. And then the Yarn and the Chrome are in the 3rd row. So of course the 2 that I like the most are not at the top. You know, that's I know that I'm an outlier, so it's okay. But, all right. Well, I'd like to definitely thank Michael for coming on and
Sure.
stepping in and filling out the roster. We're a little understaffed today, and always fun to get an artist's viewpoint. And a couple of the comments he made tonight, none of us would have known about, thinking about like crown colors and that's just
Very true.
we don't have that level of experience, and so those aren't comments that we would make. So I think it definitely enhanced the discussion. And,
Before we head out, I don't mean to interrupt, but
Yeah, no, go
we
ahead.
actually skipped one of the picks that I put in, and it was something that I actually wanted to talk about.
Yes.
And it was the Cyber Shogun.
Give me a second. I'll get it on the
yeah.
Instagram. Give me
How dare you, Matt?
You know,
Yeah.
I think I actually,
Mike, don't take it personally. He does it to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it to Adam like every week, and I feel bad about it, to the point where I was like, now I'm getting paranoid, and I always double check Adam's selections because it seemed like every week I was forgetting a hat that he'd nominated. Okay, and let me go to
Don't feel bad. He started preemptively putting hat slides in because he thought we would pick them, and then we get to the show and we're like, we didn't pick that.
Yeah.
No.
He's like, oh,
Well,
I thought you would.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
we
while
don't-
he's bringing it up, I'll jump on my soapbox for a minute, and I felt it was something. It's a discussion that's important that we have.
Go back.
We were talking about it briefly before the show, and this isn't accusing
Keep going.
VR at all of using AI, but this one is
There we go.
pretty obvious that this one was AI generated. I mean, I was trying to define what was it that was really looking at me, and you'll have to indulge me here for a minute because it is a conversation that we've all had many times, but I think this is kind of something that someone needs to say. The fact is that complaining and trying to point fingers and bringing the attention to Clink of who's using AI and who isn't, they don't care. Okay, Casey has made it very clear to us that it's going to happen. Okay, and as a businessman, he's got to make money, and that's the whole point of having the business. It's a sad truth, but these AI designs, they sell. The issue that I have with it is not that they're not doing their own art and you know it anybody can do this by learning how to put in prompts and whatnot. The problem that has come up over the last year and a half since Wynn has used it and Heather used it and showed us that she used it and some other folks have used it, whether they did or not, it's not important anymore. The problem is that these AI designs are so fine detailed and so fine lined that they turn out like crap once it comes out in embroidery. And we, broad statement, I'm talking the whole community, have made it the norm. We've made it acceptable because we keep buying the hats. So if you're really against this and it really does have an issue with it, one of two things has to happen. A, either we need to stop buying the hats, or preferably the artists need to take some culpability, take some responsibility, and don't just submit the AI. If you want to use AI to generate the reference image or even generate a starting point, fine. But you've got to do something. You've got to go over it. You've got to make some adjustments. We've been designing for the voters for so long. We have, really frankly, there's a whole new generation of artists that are designing for the voters and not designing for the medium. And that frankly, it's lowering the quality of a lot of hats that are coming out. So I'm not going to call out on anyone saying, you got to stop doing this. You are or you aren't, whatever. Start making some adjustments for the medium. I think that's all I really had to say on that.
Yeah. And occasionally, I mean, I'll even, and I've said this to a few Clink artists where I'm quite sure that they drew the art, and so it's not an AI thing. But I've seen a few where I've said that would be great on a T-shirt. It would look great on a canvas this big, but not on a canvas this big, right? And so one of the challenges for any hat artist is that's what you get. You get this much, right? And it is not very big. Whereas T-shirt design, and Michael, you've done a bunch of T-shirt designs in your shops, and it's a different thing, and you can have details that just aren't going to look good on this size, but they're going to look good on this size. And part of that is just maturing as an artist and realizing what you have to work with. So
the best example to that is he had one up this week. Mr. Cartman, I think is his handle on there. The Shoebill stork from last week. He drew that one. Okay, that was I've looked through his stuff. He's a very talented artist, but he does need to spend some time learning how to design for embroidery, because that entire design was way too fine and way too detailed. It was a great drawing, but it would not make a good hat.
Well, I appreciate your passion, and I mean, in some cases, I think, maybe people haven't thought about it, or they don't necessarily know where they can grow as an artist. And so, in some cases, we may have folks that would benefit just from getting some some friendly advice, like, hey, think about what your medium is. Think about stitching. I think one of the most interesting things, watching a video where Casey was talking about getting into the business, they talked about touring and going to the factories and seeing how the hats were made, and walking through the processes, so that when they're on the design side, they know, oh, it's going to go through these 5-8 steps, and these are things that are going to probably work well, or this is not going to work well. And that's, I'm sure, was a growth process for Casey. And we are sitting here in 2026, and we'll look at the finished product, and we'll go like, oh wow, somehow Casey made that look good on a hat. But Casey put in the time, he put in the research, and probably grew himself as an artist from somebody who sketched with pencil and paper. We've seen some of his hand-drawn work, and he probably didn't know how that worked when he got in the business either. So I mean, it's a thing where if the person has the right attitude and they want to get better and they want to understand the business that they're in, or the artistic medium that they're in, they might not always know how to grow. And so honestly, someone like yourself who's been at it for a while, you can offer some perspective, some guidance on that trajectory. So
I don't know how much they're ready to announce, but just to your point of kind of learning how it works. I have been working for the last couple months with a minor league team that seek me out to work on 4 new theme night designs, and I have put in a lot of work on those. I would pimp for them, but I don't know if they're ready yet to announce the partnership, and we're still waiting for licensing approval for one of the theme nights. But the beginning process, when we were talking about how many colors do I have, what do you guys usually use for colorways? Do you have anything like that? And it was really interesting to bring up these questions, and they had no idea what I was talking about. They're like, color limits, just start making it up. And I was like, well, pretty sure the machine has spot for 7 spools, and you start going above that, and that pisses off the manufacturer. So let's keep that number down.
Did Matt disappear?
And I think we lost Matt. Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Click the wrong button, but
Hey, you made it.
anyways, go forward.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I do believe very soon we're going to be announcing the 4 new hats. Like I said, I probably put in somewhere around 80 hours of drawing for each one of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting working with folks that are not hat guys. They're the team store owner, so they're used to all the merchandise. So they have very different opinions of what they want to see on the hat, and what their expectations of what can and can't be done on there is very different. So,
That's super cool, though, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that
Thanks.
deal you got going. That's
Thanks.
super awesome.
Yeah.
I can't
I'm-
wait
I'm-
to see and hear about it more.
I'm very excited. You don't know how bad it kills me to have work completed that I can't show.
Right.
It's driving me absolutely crazy.
I
It's
bet.
got to be annoying.
When
Yeah.
you get the green light, let us know. We'll have you back
Will
on.
do.
You can
Yeah.
walk through all those hours you put in, and it'll be fun. I can only imagine that that's true of a lot of artistic mediums. You think about people who like make films and they shoot the movie, and then a year and a half, 2 years later, the film comes out, and probably right after the shooting wraps, they're like, "Oh, I got to tell you about this movie," and then they can't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's gotta be tough.
Yeah, spoilers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. So,
Thank
and again,
And
I mean, one of the things I'm thankful for is that we've got minor leagues. So, I mean, like the major leagues, they are rarely willing to take big risks and try crazy stuff and make pants that say small bass. So thank God for minor league teams. Because they're fun. They're fun.
Yeah.
They're funny. They take big risks, and sometimes it flops, and sometimes it's fantastic. So I'm glad that we as consumers get to buy them, and I'm glad that you as artists have as another opportunity to do design work. It's fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week we'll be talking about Mike's happy birthday.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. That was fun.
All right, we ready to wrap?
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you in a week. As always, there's always cool stuff going on in the hat world, and look forward to chatting with y'all again. And take care until next time.
Good night.
Thank y'all very much.